Okay, what is your name?
Okay, so hello, my name is Hyun Kyung Lee, and I have immigrated from South Korea when I was around 5 or 6.
Okay. What were your
Yep.
first impressions of the US and like were people accepting of you?
Uh, First, I feel like I was just really little, so I was like confused, like when I first came. But like first impression of US was not bad at all. I mean, I first moved to Hawaii, so we had like there were a lot of Asians. So like, I guess I didn't really feel like I was in US because other than the fact they were like speaking English, I was surrounded by mostly Asians.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Um, what were some of the challenges you first faced, or just like challenges, I guess, in general you face?
Um. Challenges. I mean, it's still it's like I think it'll be ongoing challenges for like every immigrant children, but like I guess having that half culture, you're like in between your home culture and then like the American culture, and you're kind of like not accepted in both places in some kind of way. Like you'll go back to your like home country, and the people around you will say like, "Oh, you're so like Americanized. You don't like fit with us at all." And then like when you come back to America, it's like, "Oh, you're like Asian. Sorry."
You don't have.
So that's still like an ongoing. Yeah, I don't know where I belong. I
Do
mean, I've accepted the fact, but
do you feel like have what are the steps you've like taken to sort of like overcome that or not overcome it because you're saying it's an ongoing process, but like at least sort of try to make it easier for yourself?
I guess acknowledging it
Hmm.
and then like trying to create like my own culture, I guess, like the mixture between Korean and American. And then there are like still some like there are people who are like me, so like I would connect to them and we would like share our thoughts.
Okay.
But yeah, I yeah,
Yeah. All right. So,
yep.
what would you tell future immigrants who are prepping to come to the US from like any country in the world, but I guess specifically like I guess people from South Korea, what would you tell them about immigrating and like what you would recommend to do and stuff?
Oh wow, this is hard. um, I guess it's a it's a very lonely process, I guess. I mean, most of the people come seeking for like better job environment or like better education process, but like I mean, as life is, it never turns out the way you would expect it to be. So it's actually very much harder than you think. And I guess if you wanna like immigrant, I would advise to do it like a little bit when you're younger,
Mm.
so you have like less of the clashing culture and you grow into the culture much more easily and naturally than when you're like a teenager and like in the abyss of the emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, younger. All right. So like
Yeah.
if you're a family and you have do it when they're younger kids versus like when they're kind of older.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then I guess like it's also important for like the parents as the children grew to like acknowledge their children that they're different from them.
Okay.
Like accept the fact that your kids are being like Americanized, because then there will be definitely like families clashing if they're not understanding about that.
Gotcha. Um,
Yep.
okay, what's all right. The not fun one. What was your worst experience like with someone in the US? I guess just in terms of like stereotypes or prejudice or racism or anything.
uh,
Or I guess like if you can't think of a specific event, just like something you see overwhelmingly happening.
it wasn't. I'm not sure if it's kind of related to that I'm an immigrant or not. Well, maybe it is some kind of like Asia stereotypical type of thing. It was actually very recent. I think it happened like maybe 3 weeks or 2 weeks ago. Our school had this like the family weekend, so everyone was coming back, and there were also alumni who came back.
Right.
And there was this alumni event apparently, and they like have a whole console for it, which was very interesting for me. So I was just with my frisbee teammates eating brunch together, and then this one person on the alumni committee came and was like, "Oh, can we join us?" And then like this whole committee later came and joined us, and we just started to talk about like our families, where we're from. And it was actually interesting because like two of my other teammates were actually international, so they were like, "Oh, I'm actually not from US, I'm actually from Korea and then like India." So like they were talking talking about where their parents are and what they're planning to do. And it became my turn. So I was like, "Oh yeah, so like I'm actually not international. I'm actually living in the States right now. I'm an immigrant." And my parents are currently living in Alabama. And this one of the alumni asked me, "Oh, did your parents go there by choice or was it a punishment?" And I was like, "Okay." Like I didn't know what to answer, so I was just like kind of staring back at him. And then like I think one of the other alumni like saw my like uncomfortableness and just like kind of changed the subject. But yeah, that was like very disturbing, I guess. It's like mixed with like I guess the Asian stereotypical type, like, oh, they're probably like living a high class life and they're probably somewhere around like north or like west coast, but like instead they're in south, so maybe something's happening. But like yeah, it was a very interesting event.
A weird comment to be made.
Yeah, I was like, ugh.
Let's see. Oh, well, this kind of goes like with culture. Like, are there any cultural barriers you face? So I guess like, what are the specific cultural barriers? But you sort of talked about that. But I guess expand upon that.
Yeah. I guess like for me, I enjoy like entertainment culture better. So like whenever I'm with my friends who obviously don't watch like Korean entertainment, like it's hard to like talk about something that's not academic. So like that's really hard. I feel left out sometimes.
Yeah. Just because like
Yeah,
I
and
try to infuse both the cultures, but nobody
yeah.
is like willing.
Yeah, and then like I also got a fight with my mom actually, because like I guess like in Korea when you're talking to adults, like looking them in the eye is very disrespectful. But then like when I'm in America, like the adults want me to look into their eyes and then like talk, because that's respect for them. So like we kind of had like a culture difference there, and my mom kind of misunderstood me in that way. So like sometimes I had troubles with families too.
That's a legit one. Okay, I guess another one I had question is, would you like go back to South Korea and like live there as an adult, or do you think you just want to stay in the US, or is there another country you would go to?
I would definitely stay in US. I don't think I can go back to Korea because like my culture is so different right now. Yeah. So I don't think I'll be able to adjust to like Korean environment at all. Yeah.
Yeah, you just feel like you've been so, I guess, like drenched with Americanized culture is the way.
Yeah. Like especially like how I interact with people is more like it's definitely not like a Koreans would interact with. So
Okay. Um, did you speak English when you first came to the
no, not at all.
How
Nope.
how difficult was it for you to learn it?
Uh, I guess it was pretty difficult. I mean, I passed my ESO class when I was like I think fifth grade. Like I finally passed the test, so
So,
it kind of took a long time.
and you're a U.S. citizen now, right? Or did you get your
Yeah,
citizenship?
I'm a US.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a
your
US
senior
citizen.
year, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. How was that process?
Getting the citizenship is actually easy. It's actually getting that permanent residency that's harder. It took us like
What is your name and where did you immigrate from?
My name is Moritz Meditz, and I moved here from Germany.
Okay. What were your first impressions of the US and were people accepting of you?
Really, the first impressions was that everything is bigger here. That really stood out first. It's the cars, the roads, everything just seems bigger than it was in Germany. And alongside that, it's like little things specific to Georgia. Like the weather is much nicer here, and I really appreciate that. So,
And then were
yeah.
people accepting of you?
What was that?
Were
Excuse me?
people accepting of you?
Generally, yeah. I got lucky because my dad's colleagues lived in the same city we did, so I knew at least his kids, which really helped integrate into especially the middle school culture here in the U.S. So, yeah.
All right. And then what were some of the challenges you faced when you first immigrated? And then like how did you overcome them?
I don't know. I feel like the greatest challenge was learning the language, because in Germany they teach you English, but that's in school, and that's more or less theoretical. Like you learn your vocabulary and everything, but that doesn't really help you communicate. So really learning the language and how to communicate with people, I would say, was the greatest challenge. But having friends that helped you out, and I also had a tutor prior to moving here in Germany that taught me some English. So I would say that was probably the greatest challenge.
And then would you ever return like to live in Germany full time when you're older? Like why or why not?
I would definitely move back to Germany. I still have all my family there, and I'm currently considering moving back there to get my master's because there's great architecture schools in Germany, and it just sort of depends. I think I'll finish my bachelor's here and then move back to Germany after, probably for my master's, and then we'll see how it goes.
And then what would you tell future immigrants who are coming to the US? Like just what would you warn them about or recommend them doing?
I would try to get some basic English down, of course, because learning language is key to communicating. But besides that, just be open. Most people are friendly, and they'll try to help you out. So just go in and approach people, ask them for help and stuff, and you'll figure it out.
And then what was your worst experience with someone in the US?
My worst experience was definitely in my first year moving here, which was in 8th grade, when we were all sitting in the gym assembled, and someone walked by, and I heard him to call me Little Hitler because he knew I was from Germany. And I thought that was really fucked up because, I mean, yes, it's history, but not every German is a Nazi or related to Hitler. So that was really fucked up, and I don't know, it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. You just got here, and now you're being referred to as Hitler. So that was a bit strange, but I mean I got over it. My friend helped me out with figuring out who did it. Like the kid apologized. It was middle school, so like it's what middle school kids do, I guess.
But most people have been accepting.
Yeah, most people have been very nice.
Okay. And then I guess are there any cultural barriers you still experience?
I wouldn't say there's really any cultural barriers. In our global society today, it's a lot of mixed. It's very mixed anyway. I don't think so, really. No.
All right.